This podcast is part of the Batman Universe Podcast Network, hosted by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out everything related to Batman and the entire Bat family at the BatmanUniverse.net, including news and original content related to comics, movies, television, merchandise, video games, and more. Also, check out some of the other unique podcasts that TBU has to offer. Consider supporting this podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Even $1 can go a long way in supporting this content that you enjoy. Look for a link over at the BatmanUniverse.net to offer your support now. And now, on with the show.
Listening to the Batman Universe commentaries, brought to you by the BatmanUniverse.net. Join the staff of the Batman Universe as we watch another exciting incarnation of the Caped Crusader from his extensive media library.
Hello and welcome back to the Batman Universe commentaries, where we are looking at episodes of Batman the Animated Series on Batman Day. Ta-da! Although this
editor's note: you may not actually be listening to this on Batman Day.
Yeah, as we are recording this, there's like 36 minutes left in Batman, at least in Central Time. But my name is Donovan, and I am joined with.
It's Josh.
And today, this is another requested commentary. We are looking at the Batman Animated Series, or should I say, The Adventures of Batman and Robin episode, the Deep Freeze. This is the second appearance of Mr. Freeze in the animated series, if we don't count his appearance in like the animated comics when he appeared in the holiday special, and which we won't. And I mean, I don't have too much to say about this episode. I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy a lot of these later episodes of the animated series. When was the last time you've seen this episode, Josh?
At my mom's, like, old house, like, before. Well, actually, it was my mom and dad's house, but, like, you know how, like, when your parents get divorced, or, well, actually, your parents aren't divorced, so this is not a relatable experience to you, but, like, you know, the one house is known as mom's house, and the other house is known as dad's house. So, like, you know, in the final months of living in that house that was known as mom's house before she downgraded to a smaller house, and I was like 11 or 12 years old. That's when the last time I remember watching this episode.
Wait, it's since 1994?
Well, I was old. It was years after that when I was 12 years old. I was so it would have been like 98-ish or something, because I turned 13 in November of 98. So sometime in like 97 or 98 was the last time I saw it.
Oh wow, gosh! I keep forgetting that I got the whole series on DVD and you hadn't, so you've not watched these.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, I have memories of it. Like, I remember, like, the villain that you called, like, Walt Disney when we were, like, getting ready for this. I remember him, like, saying, like, oh, Mr. Freeze, work for me. No. Well, I have a surprise for you behind this curtain. And it's, like, Nora and, like, you know, a glass of water float. And he's like, ooh.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger says, my wife, you lie.
And then Stephen Amell says, that's not your wife. She's my wife. As of this recording, yesterday it was announced that Stephen Amell's wife is playing Nora Freeze in the Arrowverse crossover this year.
Wait, really?
Oh, why else do you think I made that Stephen Amell joke?
I was just running with you. Wait a minute. Why is Nora Freeze? Is Mr. Freeze the villain?
No, but like Nora Freeze is going to be like a villain possibly. Like,
my God, in my head.
If you go to Stephen Amell's Twitter, he actually posted an image from this like episode on his like Twitter and was like, "Oh, my darling wife."
Arrow star Stephen Amell responds to Nora Freeze casting his wife. I didn't know she was an actress. She's been in whatever.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but I'm kind of frozen because like I saw that like they casted Lois Lane and now like this is gonna be so dated by the time this comes out.
Well, not only is it Batman Day, folks, here's another thing to like date this podcast. It's also launch day, even though it's been officially out for like a few days. Like today was like the quote unquote official launch of the DC Universe streaming app. And we're actually going to use that to watch this episode. And the cool thing about this app is that it has the HD versions like that they made for like the new DVDs and the Blu-ray that they announced at Comic-Con. So it's a lot more bright and crisper. I was testing it out earlier. I don't know how well that's going to translate because Dawn and I are watching it on Rabid, which is like a screen sharing service. So it might like downgrade the picture quality somewhat. But if you have the DC streaming service, the picture quality on the Batman the Animated Series stuff, it's like the upgraded picture quality, much better than the Amazon Prime versions we were using.
Yeah, it's nice and crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, without further ado, we're going to just count it down from 3 to 1, and you can watch Deep Freeze with us. So on
All right.
3, 2, 1, play.
Even Bugs Bunny looks like
this is
more.
Nice. Have we done the commentary with this intro before?
Yeah, it's weird. Usually it's either like it portrays. Sometimes it does the wrong intro because I know we were watching like season 1 stuff where for some reason it did the Kids WB Superman intro.
I do like this. I mean, like it's all clips, but I like the shot of them walking towards the car.
And this is the one that I was used to when I was a kid because they had it for the longest time on Fox. But then I forgot about it for years because then when I started watching the show again, it was like, oh yeah, scenes from Robin's Reckoning.
I don't know if you remember this, but there was actually, and like this is not on the DVDs. There was actually a third intro they did for the last few episodes. They had like Catwoman and stuff. It was another kind of clip show intro, but like I'll have to try to find that. But
Poor Batgirl. She's only in the intro as like a background character for like 1 second.
She's watching the show. Deep Freeze.
Did Paul Dini? Okay, he did. I was about to say, like, did Paul Dini write this one like he did the first one?
I remember hearing them say that, like, whenever after Our Heart of Ice, whenever they do a Mr. Freeze episode, they wanted it to be like special, which is why they didn't do Sub-Zero. But yeah, this
was
is
Sub-Zero not special.
I like Sub-Zero, but like I know that like that was not them behind it.
Okay,
but like this is the second.
I didn't hate Sub-Zero. Oh.
It's a robot.
A Spider Slayer. I really don't remember a lot about this. So, like, there's going to be a lot of surprises.
These batch of episodes, not this one specifically, but these batch of episodes, I actually remember watching for the first time, like, many years ago, like 25 years ago. Maybe not 25 years ago, but, like, the Bane episode, Shadow of the Bat.
He can't sound an alarm. He's got to use a whistle.
It's the 40s.
Is it still the 40s at this point, though? Like, have they not abandoned that?
I think they only abandoned it when like, Superman shows up and, like, Lois Lane is, you know, not dressed like she is by Neil O'Neill. Like, they have Tommy guns. They're all dressed like clones.
Check out that mustache.
I know, it's like a switch clock.
It's like a robot that you would find in a video game, and he like uses that move during the boss battle with his arms, and you have to duck.
I feel that like I've played a Mega Man game with that kind of robot. Oh, I just got it to stop playing.
Well, and like before this, like Nora was, as far as like the audience knew, like spoiler alert, like as far as the audience knew, she was dead. So like this is the episode that establishes that she's alive. So this episode's actually important in that sense because all the Mr. Freeze origins have like an alive but like in a glass case Nora, including Batman and Robin.
Well, also like this leads into Sub-Zero and the new Batman Adventures episode because like they you know his motivation is driven by her being alive.
Yeah, he wants to cure her by harvesting Barbara Gordon's organs.
Gobble gobble gobble.
Oh, Robin. Yeah, like, he's obviously not behind it. He's like, crying out loud, help me. World's greatest detective. Like, I have reason to think that Mr. Freeze might not have been okay with this.
Maybe we'd better consult our own robotics.
Now, watch this. Do you remember this? Watch.
What?
Greetings, Dynamic Duo. I'm your biggest fan.
Bat-mite.
Well done. I forgot all about this.
I just want to help.
It seems like kind of a miniature version of the Batman theme.
Just want to help. Just want to help.
That robot was able to like pucker its lips.
Could get his programming right.
Cute toy, Carl.
You know I'm
Watch
out of
watch his
robot
other
business,
little
Batman.
Easter eggs.
All I'm
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Mitzi's Pitalik, Crypto, and Streaky the Super Cat.
Well,
Okay, so refresh my memory. Have we seen this guy before? Is he from like the Hardek episode or something?
Yeah, he was from the Hardek episode and also the Robot Batman
Guy
episode.
who builds those theme parks?
Okay.
yeah, I was one of Walker's.
Because Robin said, let's see our own
engineers,
robot expert.
constructing and programming the.
And that's what I thought. It seemed like a continuity thing, but like, look at the size of his pants.
That guy, the character looks just like the actor, because the actor was in Blade Runner, which is a movie about robots. I didn't find that out until I actually watched Blade Runner, but... You'll find... I want to say this now. Batman and Robin's dialogue in this episode is a lot of them saying, like, you know, this Walt Disney character is a madman. And it's basically them making a bunch of Walt Disney jokes. Like, I guess people thought that Walt Disney was crazy back in the day.
What do you mean back? I mean, the biggest thing I hear about Walt Disney is the whole like alleged anti-Semitism. Like that's like
and
the biggest.
his head is in
And
the
I say
jar.
alleged because I don't know how much of that is true.
Nazi Supermen are our superiors.
Impressive? You gaze upon all this and can only say impressive? Though perhaps I shouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, that's Walt Disney.
I've made a hobby of studying your chilly history.
Oh my gosh, he looks evil too.
Yeah.
Grant Walker at your service, sir. This is Oceana,
And they mentioned the guy that makes those theme parks.
a vision that you shall help make a reality.
Yeah, how does he build all this and like keep it off the grid?
Make sure that our guests
He kind of has a build of like old man Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond, just without the mustache.
Sir, we picked up an unauthorized craft entering.
can't afford nosy
He has the Kingpin's
trespassers at
cane.
this stage of the
It's like
game.
Bond villain.
Dispatch our usual deterrents, Mr. Johnson.
Walt Disney is like ready to murder Batman and Robin.
Would kidnap Mr. Freeze. Men like Walker are obsessed with getting their own way, and they don't let little things like the law stop.
That's all the explanation
This
we need.
This is like Disney versus Marvel before like you know. I mean, Marvel versus DC before Disney ever bought them.
What a
Baby shark, do 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 do.
what a lame exposition. Like, you know, I don't know why a theme park mogul would kidnap Mr. Freeze. Men like Walker always want to get their way, and they won't let anything stop them. Like, that's not an Why would he do that?
Okay, Adam West.
know.
Hang on. No porpoise to save you this time, boy.
Robot sharks. I remember that cartoon. Not. I do like this.
Sorted out. Those things are coming back.
The spider seekers.
I like this shot. Like, look how evil he looks of Walt Disney.
Neutralize, sir.
Excellent.
So much for the happiest place on earth.
He can invent all this stuff, but not a color TV.
Tis true.
Looks like we're swimming home.
Not before we have a talk with Mr. Walker.
Robin's like, oh well, let's go home. Like, you haven't even done the mission yet, boy wonder.
It's a Wonderful Life's coming on. Yeah, it's like, did you try to kill us with robot sharks? No? Well, our hands are tied.
That was the other billionaire.
That's my favorite Mr. Freeze design. I love like how retro it looks.
Perfect.
Without looking goofy.
Automatic temperature control, increased cybernetic strength, even the cold gun works.
Why'd you give him a gun?
And now he's going to kill him.
But why?
I just want to
What
help.
did you think was going to
Just wanna
happen? You
help.
kidnapped him against his will. He gave him a gun.
Yes, logically, I should do the same to you.
He's not wrong.
Hear me out, please. As I said, I've studied you and your work. Do you realize that in your frozen state you will age much slower than an ordinary human?
Oh.
This plays into Batman Beyond.
My friend.
Well, yeah, I do remember he was alive in Batman Beyond. But like, oh, this is playing into the whole Walt Disney wanted to cryogenically freeze himself. Urban myth.
You see where this is going.
Look at me, Mr. Freeze. I'm an old man.
Oh my gosh, this is blatantly Disney.
I never got this until I was an adult.
I didn't got this until I was today years old, to borrow that meme. Like, yeah, like the whole like, I want to freeze myself.
You're insane.
Yeah, you are.
You have the know-how to duplicate the action.
I like how they write Freeze. He's not like evil. He's just kind of on his own.
To become.
I want to live like this, abandoned and alone, a prisoner in a world you can see but never touch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did I make myself clear?
Old and infirm as you are, I'd trade 1,000 of my frozen years for your worst death.
I remember when I was a kid, that line like shook me.
It's very poetic.
In mind.
He is a Bond villain. He could get you for everything.
It'll be just your size when it's finished.
A few years back, and put up some money for their cryogenics program.
I haven't seen the first episode in a while, so like, I don't know if this tracks with like how he thought she died.
I mean, like, the video footage shows Freeze, getting frozen over. You don't see her die, but it's just presumed that she did, because it was like a fire or something.
Did she have McGregor syndrome or like no name like disease?
Yeah, it was like illness, subject terminal, something like that.
Okay. Oh my gosh!
They're all dressed like
it's pod people.
Now let's all beat them up.
Oh, that's from the intro.
I like that. That's like out of the Jetsons or something. This is like sci-fi. What a weird Batman
like
adventure this is.
You just need a celebrity to like pop out the window Adam West style now.
Yeah. Like Michael Jackson or whoever was big in the 90s.
Welcome, friends. Thanks to all our hard work, Oceana's nearly up and running. Now,
this all happened under like the city's nose.
Commissioner Gordon, what are you doing?
Fact of the matter is, it's not too nice out there anymore. Crime, hatred, violence, things keep going on like that. It could mean
he's right.
That's why I decided to build a city.
Not seeing any people of color in his little utopia.
I think they mentioned that.
From which a new race of people can spring. Now, of course,
or any women so far.
About 5 years, I'd say.
Wait, what?
You're freezing 5 years.
Now, don't anybody worry. We'll all be warm.
Oh, there's a woman. All right, hold on.
They're like, what the hell?
People are way too like.
He's all hard, isn't he?
Walker's a madman.
Yeah, but like the other thing too is like, I thought he just wanted to prolong his own life. Now it's like, oh, and I want to destroy the world. Like,
well, I guess it's like we'll freeze the city so we can live forever.
Yeah, like you can live in your thing without freezing the city. Like, aside from kidnapping Mr. Freeze and trying to kill Batman and Robin, nothing that he did was really illegal. It's like, oh, I saved Nora. I want your technology, and I want to prolong my life. Like, okay. Oh, and I want us all to like live in here in this utopia. Like, a little, Aryan, but okay. Oh, and I want to kill everyone.
Vision of the future, Walker.
My world will have no crime, violence, or pain.
You can add free will to that list, too.
A small price to pay for order.
Your order. For your select few.
Excuse me, but I fail to see the problem with that.
Make Gotham great again. Or make it frozen again.
There's a lot of platforms in his place. How deep is this?
Yeah,
he built all of this.
He must be richer than Bruce Wayne. It's cold in there. Oh, this is a cool shot.
That was in like the.
That's in the intro.
I don't know what Walker said or promised you, but you can't help him go through with this plan.
Oh, by the way, this is Robin. Nice to meet him.
No choice.
Has he met Robin?
No.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Robin. Nice to meet you.
So who are we chasing again?
Oh, he didn't kill him. Ah, the sensors.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you think that I guess he survived the submarine crash.
I know it's a bit chilly in there, but I figured you'd like to stick around and see the show. How are we doing?
His Grant Walker costume.
Yeah, he looks like Mr. Zero.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this plays well if you actually listen to what he's saying. That like this guy's nuts. I don't think it ever really dawned on me until now. He is crazy.
Well, I don't get why he had to like want to destroy the city. Like, I think that his like motivation was enough. Like we had to add genocide to it.
If you want to purchase, I'll purchase your wife or whatever for your science.
Incredible! This suit has more power than I ever dreamed.
Whoa.
Are you all right, sir?
This takes a little getting used to.
Once Project Deep Freeze is completed, you won't need the suit.
Well, let's get that started. Coming, Mr. Freeze.
I've done what you wanted. Now leave me alone with my wife.
Oh no.
What
What are you going to do?
Billions of people will perish. That's not my concern.
All this on Batman Day. I mean, come on.
She'll wake up in a
That's the image that Stephen Amell put on Twitter.
you help destroy. She'll hate
So I'm still trying to wrap my mind about that. Will she be like in a tube or?
She learns the truth.
I said silence!
It hit me earlier today, and I know this is obvious that like there's no way that her lung, like even if she's cryogenically frozen, like
How is she
this
alive?
would damage. Yeah, like peeing in the water, like, my lungs. She would die. She'd suffocate.
Yeah, I think the idea is that like she's in a very deep comatose state where like the breathing is like very circular.
But like,
I don't know.
no air for her to even breathe.
Where does the oxygen come? Yeah, I don't know.
The water feel. I mean,
But that's the case with
suspension
every
of
single
disbelief.
version of her. Like they all do that.
Yeah,
Batman
yeah.
Robin.
It just like it hit me.
Rosie the
like,
robot.
Staring. It was staring at Stephen Amell's Twitter like earlier today. Made me like just think about that more than I ever have before. Well, because in Sub-Zero, she very quickly like busts out of that tube.
Right, and she's dying because of it.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what are you doing?
This guy wasn't going to betray him. He was like, "All right, we're done. It's all good."
Well, yeah, but then like, I guess Batman's like, "Your wife will hate you," thing got to him because I guess he cares what his wife thinks. What a fake feminist.
I like that. I like those robot designs with their kind of like conveyor belt arms. Every time there's a robot in this cartoon, their heads pop off. Now die.
Now he's the Joker and Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze did a Iceman
Bobby
/
Drake.
Killer Frost Ice Bridge.
This is my dream, my vision. I cheated death to make it real.
Your dream was genocide?
You may live forever, Grand Walker, but your mad dream dies now.
Freeze in hell, Walker.
What are you doing? That's the main power core. An overload will blow this city out of the water.
Exactly.
This is the most complicated episode.
I can't destroy Gotham City. My wife will hate me. I'll destroy this other city instead.
Attention, all residents of Oceana. Your city is doomed. If you value your lives, you will evacuate now. That is all.
Anyway, back to our show.
Yeah, they didn't start running until the earthquake. If you value your life, you'll evacuate. And they're like, oh, just ignore it.
Now!
Still not seeing any people of color that he chose for this utopia.
Yeah, no. Lucius Fox wasn't swayed by this idea.
Was there any black people in this show?
Yeah, there were.
Ever?
There were. Like they were like cops and like doctors and stuff.
I remember Lucius.
Let's go.
This is what I always remember from seeing when I was a kid.
Don't be a fool. This whole place is going under.
I won't lose her again.
Oh,
What you can do for her. Come with us.
I am the least of your worries.
Robin!
he shatters into a million pieces. Oh shoot! I just wanted to slow you down. I didn't mean to murder him.
Whoops. Yeah, then I remember this. I was like, oh crap.
Relax. You're going to be okay.
This kind of freaked me out when I was a kid because it's like
You don't put the blanket over the ice. That doesn't help.
it's cold from the water.
Yeah, it's cold from the ice.
I like him
blanket
walking through as the ice is like the world is destroyed.
Together again, my love.
Being power.
And somehow he winds up with Konak in like the Arctic and like in a CGI version of the Arctic.
Rest you remember that kid's name?
Oh, unlike this episode, Sub-Zero, I saw a lot of times. My friend and I even like used to make fun of Konak for some reason. Well, a fitting end for his kind.
In some ways, yes. But what of Grant Walker? I guess he's immortal too? Should brought up for Justice League.
No, not the fish.
Global warming, he'll be fine. He'll melt out of that.
Man, if I spent any more time in that immersion tank, I'd be growing gills.
Well, get back in
I
there.
was able to get you back here in time.
After 10 hours in the trading room.
For a while, I thought I'd wind up like Walker, trapped in an ice cube forever. But what about Mr. Freeze?
They did that in Batman and Robin, yeah.
Not sure, but if Freeze's condition has made him truly immortal, we may not have seen the last of him.
Oh, this sets up Sub-Zero perfectly. Yeah, wow. There's
a ton of continuity. This is a very integral episode.
Right. I was like, oh wow, yeah, this is exactly where he is. You just need the little Mexican, the little
Inuit boy.
Yeah.
Well, what at the end of the credits, he meets him, and that's like the big, thing. This is like.
Now I would have remembered that if like Konak was like introduced in this, this has
been like 5 years before Sub-Zero, I think. 4 years, I guess.
Well, the episode of the new Batman Adventures where like he comes back and says my Nora was cured and she left me, that actually aired before Sub-Zero came out. But Sub-Zero was made first because of but they made it, but then they delayed it because they realized that they didn't want to like have it be out at the same time as Batman and Robin and confuse people, even though it was made to like basically cross promote Batman and Robin because it's like Batgirl and Mr. Freeze and Robin. We
should do that one next.
Sub-Zero?
The new Batman Adventures Freeze episode.
Yeah. It's not on here. Well, unless they have the new season on here, they might have it as a separate show on here. I could check. But
the new Batman Adventures, would it be under that?
Yeah. We could check, but we could outro this episode before we explore around the app.
Oh yes. Yeah. So, final thoughts on Deep Freeze?
That was good. Usually something when I rewatch these, there's something that I fixate on, which is like, holy heck, like this guy, like. I'm not going to say I was on board with his plan. He clearly was insane and everything. And yeah, he like kidnapped Freeze and was forcing him to do stuff against his will in this whole city. But like, I don't get why he needs to like, he's like, oh yes, we will live down here forever and I'll be immortal. Oh yes. And I'll freeze all of Gotham. Like, wait, why does your plan need that to happen? Like,
just to get the point across.
to I guess drive the point home that he's really evil and we have to stop him because otherwise, like, what he's doing is like bad, but not too bad. It's like, okay, he wants to get Mr. Freeze his wife back.
When Freeze says, I gave you what you want, and I'll leave you alone with my wife. Any other bad guy would be like, I'm afraid not. Mwaha. He's like, suit yourself. Anyway, like he's done with him, and like he doesn't even kill Batman and Robin. He just kind of lets him sit there. Even though he tried to.
Yeah, aside from him kidnapping Mr. Freeze, like, he would have, like, if Batman and Robin showed up, like, show's over, Walker, like, what? I built my own city, and, like, I'm working on my own science. You can't arrest me. I've done nothing wrong. Like,
oh, we thought you were going to blow up Gotham. Well, I was going to.
Why do you think I was going to blow up Gotham? I just want to be left alone in my utopia city with my cryogenic suit.
But no, he turned out to be a douchebag like all of them do. It's kind of funny. The realization of this one-off character that we never see again. Even though he's immortal.
I mean, there's no like Batman Adventures comic where like the iceberg like bobs up to the surface and he's found by the Mad Hatter or something.
That'd be a great idea, but I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% positive he doesn't show up in the comics, but I very much could be wrong because I've not read all of them.
Let me look on DC Wiki.
Yeah, this episode's not over yet. It's
DC Wiki. Yeah, watch, like he had his own 12-issue limited maxi series or something. You know,
I'll be horrified.
Okay, Grant Walker was a famous theme park mogul. Why did I miss
Who
this?
lost his freaking mind.
Yeah, who looked Dill O'Harley voiced him. When Walker he was alone, trapped in a block of ice. Blah blah blah.
He appears in several issues of Gotham Adventures? Crap, I did not know that.
Okay, does not appear again. He does appear in several issues of Batman Gotham Adventures as the second Mr. Freeze. He escapes after it drives him insane because he was there for years.
He was already insane.
Yeah. He wants to find a cure? He's like, Mr. Freeze, make me immortal. No, you'll hate it. No, he gets cured. Or no, he gets it. Oh man, now I want to be cured of this. He's killed in a deleted scene by Nora's new husband.
By a robotic doppelganger of Mr. Freeze, but made by his new husband. So, like, he wasn't killed, but, like, he was going to be killed?
Well, he's killed, but it's like a deleted scene, so is it canon or not?
I mean, I don't know why I doubted that he appeared again, because, like, that's a loose thread that he's still alive, and he's, like, in a situation where if he came back, he would want revenge. So I need to read those issues.
Oh. I'm going to read this little wiki thing out loud. It says, the reviewer for World's Finest Online and covering Deep Freeze noted that Walker and Freeze stood in deliberate contrast to each other. Freeze claims to be dead to emotions, but his compassion betrays him several times throughout the episode. He initially refuses to subject Walter to the same confinement as Freeze himself, and Batman eventually convinces him to help stop the deaths of innocent people. By contrast, Walter is an outwardly warm, paternalistic figure, but he is as dead to emotions as Freeze claims to be, coldly planning mass murder just to create his own fantasy of a perfect world. His transformation into the second Mr. Freeze is more appropriate to his inner self than Freeze's ever was. Oh, that's a good point.
That's pretty thematically sound.
Yeah.
So until the next episode, this is Donovan.
This is Chuck. That's supposed to be me cold, but like it sounds like I'm stuttering. Like,
and you're listening to the Batman Universe commentaries, watching the Batman the Animated Series. We'll see you guys in Oceania
after we kill a lot of you.
Man, if I spent any more time in that immersion tank, I'd be growing gills.
I'm just glad I was able to get you back here in time.
Thanks. For a while, I thought I'd wind up like Walker, trapped in an ice cube forever. But what about Mr. Freeze? Do you think he's gone for good?
I'm not sure. But if Freeze's condition has made him truly immortal, we may not have seen the last of him.